Hello students, this is your course on digital marketing basics, and in this video we are going to discuss the key skills required to become a digital marketer. Now let's begin by understanding how recruiters view digital marketing as a profile and what is the ideal candidate that they have in mind while defining the roles for digital marketing. In other words, what are the skills that recruiters feel that a typical digital marketing candidate should have? Now, as you can see, for digital marketing roles, typically recruiters request for digital marketing itself as a skill or SEO as a skill. They expect candidates, even at a fresher level, to be able to do online branding, be aware of Google AdWords, how to research them, how to use them. Then web content writing is another skill that is expected. Social media marketing is something which is expected from candidates, irrespective of the experience level that they may have. Then blog writing, in addition to web content writing, blog writing is also another expectation. And content writing might be spreading across a very wide range, which could entail internal communications within the company, as well as communications with the end customer in the form of email campaigns, in the form of web copy, ad copy, in the form of blog, white papers, sometimes even ebooks. And they want their digital marketers to have the basic ability of content writing, because even though they may not be doing it, they may require a team of content writers to do it for them. They may need to have the knowledge of how content should be on various digital channels and platforms. Then mobile marketing is another thing which is expected from digital marketing candidates these days, because a lot of companies are now choosing to create their presence not just on web but also on mobile platforms like applications, but owned, that is company owned applications, as well as third party applications. Then pay per click is another skill which is expected by digital marketers. Whether the company invests in it or not is another thing, but this is a basic expectation. Email marketing and campaign management is another expectation which companies are known to engage in from time to time, and digital marketers are expected to know it from the offset. Then since this is something which I have picked from a typical aviation centric profile, here in the recruiter expects knowledge of that particular sector or industry, aviation sector or industry, also for the digital marketer to be able to design an effective digital marketing campaign. SEM, SEO, digital marketing are also specific skills which are expected. And media planning is something which is a very marketing oriented skill, but is expected from a digital marketer irrespective of their previous education, qualification, or occupation. Analytics is something which recruiters expect digital marketers at a mid senior level to have some exposure to and have some experience with, because they would be required to measure the performance of the ongoing campaigns and strategize as well as design upcoming campaigns, for which a lot of data analytics is required. And this is something that recruiters expect that the digital marketing candidates should know and should be able to use in their roles. By comparison, content writing roles are relatively less technical in nature, and unless we are talking about technical writing, wherein again the content writer is just supposed to understand the technical process to be and have background or knowledge of the various formats in which, let's say, SOPs are generated. That other than that, basic expectation is writing, editing different types of content, and producing it in the form required by the organization or by the digital marketing manager, and writing it for the target audience in the right tone, the relevant manner. However, if we are being honest here, these are not really skills. These are the things which are expected from digital marketers, and the underlying skills could actually be defined in this manner. The first one being creativity. The end of the day, despite all the data out there, despite all the information and the science and the technique involved, digital marketing still is a creative career. It requires some presence of mind, it requires creativity, it requires the ability of the digital marketer to understand how to better engage their audience. And therefore, that's the topmost underlying skill which recruiters have to judge at the time of an interview or by giving some assignments during the recruitment process. Then you have your research ability, which is yet another skill which is expected to be there in a good digital marketer, because you would be required to study campaign effectiveness as well as market situation, market condition, customer preference. And all this is only done if a candidate already has some basic research ability. They're able to search for data which is or information which is not easily found, and come up with reasonable insights to design a campaign or execute a campaign. Then analytical ability is must, wherein analysis of both data and context is required to design a digital marketing campaign. Herein, sometimes the analysis is done of numeric, quantitative data, and sometimes it is of qualitative, open ended statements which the digital marketer could access by interaction by customers or by clients or by internal team members. And analyzing it is required to come up with effective digital campaigns which can have the right impact and achieve the desired marketing goals. Then content writing and editing skills, as we saw, the recruiters also rightly were able to define or recognize that this is something which is expected of a digital marketer. They may not be themselves generating blog content, SEO content, but knowledge of the same is required so that they can get it done from their relevant teams. Then social media awareness is very important. Now, even though a fresher digital marketer may have never handled a social media campaign for a company, being aware of how brands talk or talk with or engage their customers on social platforms, which social platform is suitable for what kind of brand, product, or service. This kind of awareness is important. And what is the tone to be taken in such communication? This is important in a digital marketing candidate. And even in the beginning of your career, you're expected to have that much awareness. Then technological know-how of relevant tools. Of course, at the end of the day, as we discussed, going digital means becoming comfortable with the use of technology. What kind of technology? Technology that connects you to web, can be accessed on web and mobile platforms, and therefore, of course, the technological know-how of relevant tools required for link building, required for search engine optimization, required for content management. All these tools is important. Knowledge of all these tools is very important in a digital marketing candidate, and is very frequently evaluated by recruiters in a given process. Then agility and flexibility, the ability to adapt at a fast pace and learn and mold or modify the campaign as and when required, is another thing. It's basically a competency which is expected from a digital marketing candidate. You cannot be very rigid, you cannot be very straight laced about the campaign design, and you have to learn as the market changes. Then marketing focus and customer focus is another thing which is required. So someone who is moving from technical background like that of a designer or a developer, um, someone who's moving from an engineering or a computer science background to digital marketing as a career, they need to understand the marketing as well as the customer focus of the organization before seriously considering this career. Because at the end of the day, the career itself, the digital marketing itself, is coming under the purview of marketing function, and the goal is to engage the customer, deliver value to customer. So having that focus is very essential, and it's again something which is checked in candidates. You cannot just be a tech whiz. You need to be able to relate with the customer, your audience, in order to design an effective DM campaign. And there are some advanced skills which are also expected from digital marketing managers or digital marketing heads, country heads, as in they would be required for building this channel, building this function as a whole for an organization or for an agency. So it begins with channel development and management, wherein there could be organizations that do not have pre-existing digital marketing channels and maybe hiring candidates for building those channels, developing those channels, and then managing them in future. Of course, this basically means that you need to have some experience of working with different channels, and this is something that comes not just by learning the theory or the concept, it comes by doing it. Then campaign performance management. This requires a good general aptitude for numbers, good aptitude for quantitative assessment, data interpretation, and the ability to track the performance of a campaign on an hourly, daily, weekly basis so that the corrective measures or the required measures can be taken from time to time for optimum results to be achieved. Then there is community management, wherein from a brand perspective or from a company perspective, if the digital marketing campaign has the end goal of creating a community of customers and having a very strong voice there, then this is a background, this is a skill, advanced skill, which is expected from the digital marketing manager, because then he or she would be driving all efforts across channels in that same with the same objective. And client management is something which is expected, or account management is something which is expected from agency based digital marketers. Account management is also there in brand or company based digital marketing profiles, because sometimes companies like Hindustan Unilever, Procter and Gamble, Reckitt Benckiser, and many are there that have multiple sub brands under their umbrella, and they usually have different digital marketing or marketing function or marketing teams handling those particular brand accounts. So account management is also something that could exist for digital marketers who are working for a company instead of just working for an agency. So client management, account management, community management, campaign performance management, channel development and management. As you can see, the in all these advanced skills, the underlying term is management, and that is because these are skills which are expected from digital marketers who have progressed to senior management or at least mid senior management level, and then are managing teams of other executives who are performing different duties in the digital marketing domain as a whole. Now, how can you build all these skills? As I said, some of these skills are natural to you, they come just like your aptitude, while others are something that you can develop by practice, by experience, through working in these domains. If you feel that you have some of these skills, others are missing, then now is the right time to start preparing for that. Now, next up, we will be starting with a new chapter, important terms in digital marketing, and in each video, we'll pick up one term and discuss it in detail. Meanwhile, thank you.